they are dreaming, and that dream is looking like it's going to become real. For as surprising for the good as Penn State's been this season at 14-7, is as surprising as the bad has been for Michigan, who now is 11-10, 0-8 against Quadrant 1 this season. They have a Quadrant 4 loss. They have been a huge disappointment. Penn State beats them today 83-61. Terrence Oglesby, which to you has stood out more? Penn State being successful this year, or Michigan with an All-American caliber talent in Hunter Dickinson being a disappointment?
Penn State being better, because I'm a glass half full guy, and don't you dare try to get me to negative town. No, I think Penn State, because they're so unique in that league. I really do. Penn State, because they're so unique in that league. This is not a traditional Big Ten roster to where you have a 5 and you have a bunch of big wings. No, it's 5 big wings, and they're playing them. And Jalen Pig is one of the most unique players in college basketball. And nobody saw this coming, guys. And I think the biggest thing with Micah Shrewsbury is he realized hey, this is my roster. How can I put these guys in position to be as good as they possibly can? We're going to have to do it in an unorthodox way. And Happy Valley's jumping because of it. He has done a nice job of picking and placing. And then whenever you get a guy like Jalen Pickett, who's averaging 17, 8, and 7, he is completely has the ability to take the game over. It's amazing.
It's crazy numbers. But I'm surprised by Michigan. I'm not gonna lie. They're a mess right now. How do you have 0 quad 1 wins when you have a top 5 player in college basketball? That's crazy to me. And it's not just the fact that they lost, but it's the way they lost today. There was no leadership. There was no urgency. Where's the scouting report? You let Andrew Funk and Seth Lundy, who are both shooting 42% from 3 on the season, take 9 threes. They get 9 threes up, both of them. It's just that eventually it comes down to leadership. Where's the scout? What are you guys doing to prepare for that? If us 3 know that Michigan right now is at the outside looking into the NCAA tournament, then they know it too. So it has to eventually get to a point where it's there has to be a little bit of urgency with the game plan. There has to be a little bit of urgency from your leaders. And right now we're not seeing that. And that's surprising to me, honestly, because I know Hunter and I've seen Coach Howard and it caught me off guard.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, to see Hunter Dickinson go for 6 points, only 3 made field goals in any game, is just jarring. Nor alone against Penn State, who frankly, Penn State will give up buckets to a player like Hunter Dickinson, but they're gonna trade him right back. Penn State is one of the most special stories in college basketball this season. They really are. And Terrence, you brought up his name, but Micah Shrewsbury deserves some nods. The National Coach of the Year race is obviously, it's got its front runners this year with Matt Painter and Jerome Tang and TJ Otzelberger's on the radar. Shaka Smart's on the radar this particular season. We could go on and on about that race. So Shrewsbury's not going to get it. But man, he deserves some consideration in the Big Ten, because the NCAA tournament and Penn State basketball have not exactly been friends. Penn State has not been a team that's synonymous with that level of success. Shrewsbury has quickly turned things there. He's turned the mentality, and you've brought it up, Terrence. They've turned the way that they play into an advantage in the Big Ten. How have they done it?
Well, they swarm to the basketball, one, and the fact that they're so small and they still have games where they control the boards is amazing. They outscored Michigan in the paint today by 6, despite Hunter Dickinson being a fairly large human being near the rim. And they have found ways to pull opposing 5 men out and use their quickness and their strength to their advantage. Who do you guard Jalen Pickett with? That's a real interesting question. You can't guard him with Dickinson, and you can't guard him with Kobe Buffkin. So what are you going to do? You're leaving your guys out to dry, and then he requires more than one guy to guard him. Now they do play Purdue next. That's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. But I think Edey had 31 and 12 or 15 against him last time. That's going to be an issue. But man, he is such a matchup nightmare for pretty much anybody in that league. He's a really good player.